All right, so let me see if I can do this in one take here. But Google Search Console, basically what happened was, I have my entire site and everything in my funnels and all my pages, blogs, everything set up on DropFunnels. And what I noticed was there was a couple pages that were ranking in Google, but the fact is that my whole site wasn't. Like, I couldn't search on something and get anything from my site because, I'm one of the only people that has anything with DropFunnels in it. So therefore, things should be coming up in Google, and nothing was happening. So what I noticed was that when I went into Google, I noticed that there was, if you actually go to you can see exactly what Google has, what it has knowledge of, by going like this. You can go site : and then enter your URL. Okay. And when you hit enter, you can see exactly what was happening to me is I would only get this single site page was getting indexed. So there was one other one too, but this was the one that was big. But this one was going and getting indexed, but the fact is that nothing else was. So I was kind of wondering exactly how in the world I could get that done. I wanted to be sure that everything's gonna show up. So therefore, what I did was I was kind of fumbling around and trying to figure out exactly how to do this, and Google Console was my answer. And if you're not on Google Console, you really should get on it, because Google Console's has the ability to take your whole entire sitemap, and that's what we'll go through right now. Is just it'll take your sitemap and index everything. So what happens is when you sign up for Google Search Console, it's going to ask you for your URL. You're going to put in your URL, and then what it's going to tell you to do is it's going to tell you to put in a text record into your DNS. Okay, so what to do is you come into your DNS settings. I have Namecheap, but this is going to be slightly different on every single domain provider. But if you go into Advanced DNS, I'll show you exactly where you can put this in Namecheap anyway. Here we go, text records. Okay, so what I need is I need a text record, and these are my text record Google site verifications. So what it is you add a new record, you put in the @ symbol, okay, and that'll pick up your whole entire site. You do not need this Go one that I have, but this @ symbol as the host, and then you paste in the value that they give you, and that will give you access to the whole entire site. So that kind of it tells you that it's actually your property because you went in and changed the DNS settings. So once that happens, you can come in here and you can see exactly what's going on with everything. So the other thing I did was I took the sitemap from DropFunnels. Okay, so in DropFunnels, you know that there's a bunch of SEO stuff. So there's this SEO tab over here. Excuse me. But you can click on the SEO stuff and then go to right here where it says HTML XML sitemap. And what this will do is it'll give you a bunch of options. And here is the general options. You can pretty much leave most of these alone. The only thing I did was I removed the categories tags and DropFunnels categories. I didn't really see a need for those coming up, but there may be a need for those coming up. So maybe I'll add them later, but that's what I did. HTML sitemap. So in here, I just put SEO Press HTML sitemap, just as it says here. You can also use the shortcode, so I put the shortcode in there, and that just names it appropriately. And what I can do now is I can say I can save changes. I can go to General. And if you go into View Your Sitemap, okay, it's going to bring you to sitemap.xml. And here you'll see that I have my post sitemap and my page sitemap. Okay, now what I did was I went into and from here, after you actually put in that text record, and the text record takes a while to actually propagate. So It took mine about almost 2 days to propagate, but it did get there. Sometimes it might take 24 hours, sometimes it might take 12. You never know. Just keep checking it. So here's my jumpstartdigitalmarketing.com. And what I can do is, or I can go to Go, I guess. That'd be beautiful. This is my actual site, my subdomain on DropFunnels, okay? So what you can do here is you can go into URL inspection, you can go into sitemaps. Now the URL inspection, you can do an actual URL, and it will go ahead and put that. You can suggest that it go ahead and index it. But this is just to make sure that Google knows about it. And it just kind of puts it on its list and says, go ahead and inspect this. So what I did was, in order so I could get every single thing in my site actually indexed, is go into sitemaps, and from each of those XML files, see this post sitemap.1.xml and page sitemap.xml, I pasted both of those right into my add new sitemaps. And you'll see here, now I have discovered URLs, 16. That's my page sitemap. I got my post sitemap in there. That's, discovered URLs, 11. I got my, let's see here. This is my Go Jumpstart. Okay, this is the whole entire thing, success, 55. So this is actually going through and picking up all the URLs that are inside every single page. And what's going to do is it's going to go ahead and put that on a list. If I go to coverage, I can make sure that everything's valid. This is simply telling me that it can inspect those pages. Okay. So once that happens, I can request that it be added to the actual indexing. So what I do here is, and I can't do it now. I'm not gonna do it because I already requested it, and requesting it multiple times. There's kind of a limit to how many times you request it, so don't go in there and go crazy. You can request this, click on this request indexing. It'll go ahead, check, make sure that everything's valid and it can reach the site. And then it will go ahead and put that on a schedule to be indexed. It'll just put it in a queue, and it'll go, and then the bots will go out and index your site, and then everything's hunky-dory. And next thing you know, you can be actually indexed by Google, and you'll come up in the rankings. This is really, it's kind of like a proactive step to make sure that things are going correctly inside of your SEO stuff, inside of your DropFunnels site, so, or any site for that matter. I'm just doing it for DropFunnels because of the fact that my site is on DropFunnels, and that's what I've done in order to make this work. So, anyhow, I hope everyone's doing well, and I will talk to you again in another video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube link right here, to my YouTube channel right here, and hit me up if you have any questions or anything else. You can comment below. Cheers, people.